conversations and storytelling helps us connect with each other, teaches us relatable life lessons, and helps us define who we are as humans. This podcast is focused around women from all walks of life, how we grow, navigate, impact the world that we live in to tell the often untold story. The Rise of Woman is a story of loss, growth, triumph, inspiration, fabulous failure, and all in between. Warning, in this podcast, there is cursing and adult content.
Hello, my name is Cristina. I am 40 years old. My zodiac sign is Scorpio. Today I was working my last day in my internship. That's the reason why I came to the USA. And you are listening to LaRae Infinity Let's Talk podcast.
That's Cristina, a woman who is a soft-spoken Spaniard with the heart of a lioness, has a complicated relationship with her family, an intern who believes that age is not the definition of experience, who battles from what is clinically called bulimia, believes in the power of love, and so much more. This is my podcast. Welcome. Thank you for being my guest. Like Cristina said, her name's Cristina, and she is from Spain. I guess I should put that in there. She's from Spain. And she is here on an internship, and we met at a job together and hung out more when we weren't living together than when we did live together. So tell me about the moment that impacted your life.
Oh, okay. There is so many moments that I guess it has impacted my life. Let me think about the moment. It's just like complicated. Let me think. I guess one thing that impacted my life, it was when I found out that the three wise kids, it was my parents.
The what was?
Three wise kids.
Oh, the three wise kings.
It's under the tree. It's under like you do in America with Santa Claus.
Okay, yeah.
You know, but we do it on the 6th of January.
Okay.
And it's like, yeah, you go on at night to sleep. You leave some cookies and milk for them.
Oh, so it fucked with you when you found out that your parents were the three wise kings.
Yes, this changed my life.
Why did it change? Like, what about your life changed? Was it like a breaking of innocence? Like, what was it?
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it was my first disappointment. Like my first, like,
ooh.
Oh, lady, you're not a queen within a bubble ball. You know, you let's see what's the real world. And
okay.
This was the first, and then it came a lot of things. But it was, I guess, my first like. Get out of your bubble.
Yeah, like reality check type thing where you're like,
I think so.
Well, damn, I didn't expect that. So, how old were you?
I think I was around people telling me like, hey, you still believe in that? And I was still, because I was like this lady, like my innocence was lasting longer than any other of my friends or because badly I just was growing with my brother and my cousins. They were like 4 years younger than me. So I guess when my friends were doing like going to the nightclubs and that, I was still playing like play mobile with my brother.
Yeah, okay,
so I was kind of like, you know, so I think it was around maybe like 7 years old, something like that.
7? Okay.
6 years old.
Yeah.
I'm so bad with the ages and that. My mother for sure knows that, but yeah. Okay, so and it's like, and I want to tell you just a story because it's something that happened. That's how innocent I was, and I think I'm still innocent, but you know, I don't want to lose that. That's the only thing in my life that I don't want to lose is my innocence. I've been through some stuff, but I keep just sticking to my innocence, you know, and
you hold on to it because it's precious.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah,
I don't know, it's a part of my essence. So that's what I think, and And the thing is, like, I remember one of my cousins, when we was in my grandma place, she told me, how can you believe in the three boys game? I'm gonna show you the present is right here. And she opened the wardrobe, and there was a bunch of presents there, and I say, yeah, it's for you, and your house is not coming, but in my house actually is coming for real. So I don't mind.
Oh, even through the naysayers. And I see you doing that. Like, you have this personality where, like, because we don't agree on everything. Absolutely not. So when we're having conversations, I love having conversations with people where you can disagree and have, like, this intelligent, like, conversation. Okay, would you rather be crazy rich or crazy in love?
Crazy in love.
Crazy in love with no hesitation. I mean, I'm a Cancer, so on any given day, the moment could change. There's some days, like, I believe in love, and I love being in love, and I love seeing love, but, like, dark Gina is like, fuck that, I'd rather be crazy rich. Then I can be in love with everything, you know, like, whatever. So I love how you had no hesitation with that. What's something that overwhelms you as a person?
I guess I have this thing, like, I need to feel that I control the situation. I'm not a controller in the sense of I don't like to control people, but I need to know that I control the situation. Like, it's more like it's weird because, and I tell that to my friends sometimes. I'm a super contradictory person in the sense of I can be white in this, but I can be black at the same time. You know, it's not like, no, I like to control, and I'm a controller in that. And you know me, you know perfectly how I can be flexible in some things. But there is some topics that I'm super unflexible, and when I can't control these topics, it just really overwhelms me.
Okay, like what kind of stuff do you have to be in control of?
Let's say my time, for example. I need to just own my need to control my own life. Like feel that nobody else is just like choosing from me or something.
Okay. Do you feel like at any point in your life, like your age, as you get older, is putting boundaries on you? Because, like, your internship, for instance, most of the people there are, like, younger or whatever. So do you feel self-conscious about that, or do you feel like it puts restrictions or boundaries on you?
Being honest, age never was an issue for me. Like, okay. I think age is what you feel. And so for me, I mean, I feel sadly saying that when I was 20, I don't feel more tired. I don't feel like I have less energy. I feel nothing different. So I think I just let it show, and that's why I don't look my age, because my age is not defining me. I never let, and it doesn't worry me. I say this 40, like, because it sounds like wow, 40, but deep inside, I'm still the same. I don't feel the age on top of me or just bothering me, or not at all.
When we're talking about control, if you could control your death, and I know, so morbid, death is a reality, right? And I was talking to somebody, and in some countries, you know, people die and you move on. Here in the United States, it's like a huge grieving process, and we're respected for our processes. My dad died less than a year ago, and I'm still, like, grieving to the point where, like, I talk about my dad, I still get choked up, whatever. Go to therapy, the whole nine. But if you could control your death and you knew the moment you were going to die, what would your last words be?
Thanks.
Wow, girl, you're gonna make me cry up in here. Seriously? She's like, deeply in love. Thanks is your last words. You're making me well up. That really? Why? Thanks for what?
For the good things.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry.
No, because there is so bad things, and actually today I have my exit interview.
Yeah.
In my play in the job in the play.
Yeah, at that job. if you know me, you know that job.
And you know, we really were dealing, you and me, and many people there is dealing with many challenges, and not every of them are good. But I mean, I want to stick with the good, and that's why, you know, I mean, I'm this kind of person that I'm not able to hate.
Yeah.
And this is I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Because when people do something bad to me, then I mean, my father says something about me. You are like soda, because I just blood, then goes down and there's nothing,
and it's like, flat.
It's flat. So that's me, you know.
Yeah.
I can just get in a moment of temper. I have this temper that I can just heat it up and tell you whatever at the moment. But then I'm gonna like hold. How you say in English? Hold grudge, man.
Oh, you don't hold a grudge.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah,
it's impossible for me to hate someone.
Yeah.
So and I'm saying this is a problem because sometimes I forget about the bad things that people do to me, and then I get like maybe another opportunity, and then you realize some people it's never gonna change.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you need to keep them away from your life.
Yeah.
So it's like.
I like that analogy though. It's like soda. You said your dad says that?
Yeah, my dad always say like, you're like soda. We say in Spanish, I think gaseosa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like club soda. Well, we'll be here, I think, club soda.
Oh, okay, yeah,
like,
club sodas.
Yeah. So it's like, I explode. I can be like fire in a minute, but then I like. I'm sweet again. So that's why sometimes, you know, some people get confused because I'm always super like soft.
Yeah.
But when I have these two extremes. I can be soft or I can be super straightforward.
Right.
And have middle point.
Right.
And I think that's why some people kind of don't like me.
Mm-hmm. Like what's something that you don't tell a lot of people about yourself?
Something that I don't tell. I guess there's like so many things, because it's crazy because I always see myself like an open person, like I speak up and that. Then it's surprising me that many of my friends are telling me how like difficult like digging in I am. So I guess
like stubborn.
Not in the sense. It's like it's difficult to dig into myself.
Oh,
I'm not. I seem so like, you know, like I say everything and I just speak up and that. But in the end of the day, I don't.
Yeah, but a lot of people that are like that, because you know, especially people that I'm an open book. No, you're not. Like you have things that you've let go of as a person that you are okay with sharing, and it may be some things that are quite uncomfortable, like I don't know, I'm okay with saying a lot of things, but there's so many things that I don't say. But because I open and I share so many things, it's almost like people think I'm an open book, and I can say I'm an open book, and it even deceives people sometimes to the point, or I wouldn't say deceives because that means that I'm being deceptive, but like people think that they know me and they don't. I think we are similar in the fact that like we like one-on-one stuff more than group stuff. Like you'll see me out with friends more one-on-one than in group situations, because I find that the dynamics in like group situations are like people like are fake sometimes or something.
And it's my opinion, and I think when people just go into a group, they become, and I know it's gonna sound strong, okay, but they become like animals, you know.
Absolutely. And it's almost like dog eat dog. Like I remember, I don't remember when it was, but I was sitting there and I was at some group dinner and I'm watching everybody, because I'm a watcher, especially when I'm on it. If y'all know what I mean, I was on it. And I'm just sitting there and I'm watching people's interactions with people, and I'm like, that person doesn't act like that when it's just us hanging around.
Exactly.
And like me, myself, the more people around, like I feed off of people's energy. And I think that once again, my zodiac, like I feel like I am a true Cancer, so I reference it all the time. But like, I'm just watching, I'm like, who the fuck says you? Like, you never act like that. And, you know, the grandeur, upping each other. And I'm like, it's some bullshit.
Yeah, and actually, one of my best friends, once I told her, is like, Marta, I love you so much. But when we meet with the group, I don't like you at all. I mean, you change, you just become another person, and you know the Marta I love anymore. I mean, you like, and just lately she's been going through some personal things, and she's been like changing for better in some issues, you know. But it's like, no, absolutely. I, you're so right. I agree. I like one-on-one, like just two people.
It's more intimate, and not even in like any kind of sexual way, but it's just more intimate.
No.
It's
it's like in any sense that you want to talk about. It's like it's more meaningful. Like it's meaningful, like you can talk, and it's not like you always have to be talking about deep stuff, and you know what I mean. But it's like I don't know. I think I like to just see the real thing of the people when I want to see it, and some people I really don't care. I not even.
Yeah, you don't care. Like some people, I look at them, I'm like, I don't want to ever get to know you, and I know that sounds so bad, but it's true in this weird way, because like, I find myself usually, the women that I hang out with is usually a woman when I first see them. I'm like, gosh, she's a bitch. And it's not even that in like that bitch demeaning way, but like, gosh, she's a bitch. Like, I feel power resonating from her. And that's intimidating for people. Type A personality women, and like even like me, because I'm kind of sportsy and I can thug it out and I can glam it up. But like some people have never seen me outside of like my sweats and, you know, my chill clothes and my little Air Max and all that stuff. And because I'm a type A personality, opinionated, like I get, you know, well, you need a man that's gonna, or are you a lesbian? Like, why does it have to be those two opposite ends of the spectrum? Because I think, and you tell me if you agree, but like I feel like a lot of men don't understand. All of us super women, if we just had the right guy to come in and be there with us, not even for us all the time, but with us, we could take off our cape and kick it. Like, we don't have to be super women all the time, but like we have a lot of shit going on.
You like to be taken care of too, but obviously I couldn't be in love with a man who can cry out of my shoulder, because I don't want to cry out of anybody's shoulder that is not able to cry out of mine. So
you want that equal
I really
vulnerability.
Exactly. And it's beautiful when you just like today you are just like leading, and tomorrow I want to be leading.
Yeah,
you know, it's like it's complicated to get that balance, but I think it can be get.
Yeah,
and that's the right person that you have to be with, because nobody want to be just like nobody's mama.
You don't.
I don't want to have a dad. I think so, and I'm sorry, because I know you miss that much your dad, but you already had one, and it's gonna be there forever. It's not
forever
anymore. You already got your dad.
Yeah, that's what I told the guys. Like, I'm not looking for my daddy. Like, I
because
don't.
You already have one, actually.
You are listening to the LaRae Infinity Let's Talk podcast. That's LRI Let's Talk on Instagram. Hit me up and DM me with your comments and questions. What is something that you feel like you take for granted?
Sometimes we take for granted, like people actually loving us. Because sometimes and I need to just go back to one question that you told me before. What is something that you don't tell to people? It's hard, and I was rethinking now, and it's hard for me to say I love you. I have a really hard problem with it.
You have a problem saying I love you. Do you have a problem with just the 3 words, I love you, or is it the emotion behind it? Because, you know, like sometimes you just see people like, oh, I love you, and it's just a throwaway, or is it the emotion behind it when like you mean it and you like look at somebody and you're like, oh shit, I love you?
It's hard for me to just say. And when people say that to me, sometimes I take it for granted. It depends who say it, okay? But it's like, because maybe some people actually love me, but I barely believe in that.
Right.
You know, I think they just talking.
You know, family and not taking things for granted and everything is like just super important. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm not that family person. But it's something that I want to. And I know it's crazy, but I basically most of the times I call them because I know it's important for them. It's not that much about like I just need to talk to them.
Do you feel like there's just a disconnect? Because I know a lot of people that know that it's important for their parents to call them and they don't. I mean, for them to call their parents or talk to, and they don't. So do you think that like it's maybe something you actually need? So like if I was like, okay, Cristina, you can't talk to your parents anymore ever.
I mean, when I was a kid, my parents were my everything. I remember the first time I went into a excursion, like a trip with my colleagues.
Oh, the excursions, yeah.
In the school. The first time I ever went away from my parents for a long time, let's say. For me, it was like a trauma. I was crying out. It's like I was this like daddy's girl.
Yeah.
As a kid. You know? But then I don't know. There was a point that I realized that they were not perfect. My father was my like superhero. He was perfect. My mother was like. Maybe I was more linked with my father. You know how it is, ladies with the fathers and the boys with the mother. But there was a point that I just got disappointed from them, and it never was the same anymore. But obviously, I can tell that to my parents.
Right.
I told them several times, and I mean, I mean it.
Yeah.
They are not my heroes anymore. I'm super disappointed with them. I know.
Is it something they did?
They just. I mean, they are not where I expected to, like from their parents. I mean, they are like little kids. Like I mean, I think they are overwhelmed for me and my brother because they don't have the capabilities to deal with us. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. It's like when they are. I mean, like I'm like a super like how can I say it? Like, let's say my brother and me, we are people with some. We want something more in life. We're looking for something more. We have some ambition, and not ambition in a bad way, but we look growing. We looking for something more.
Right.
My parents are really, really simple people. They're just simple. I mean, my parents want me to was raising me as to be someone like them. I don't want to be someone like them.
And when you say simple, what do you mean?
Like
do they travel?
They don't look for doing nothing great. I remember that their favorite word just put your feet on the ground. I want to fly. I was a bird. They cut my wings.
Okay.
Literally. It took me a while to just rebuild myself, to be, and just to come back to be what I am. Because, and it's not just my parents, it's just partly the society, but my parents, I blame them the most because they were the ones to bring me to life. Yeah. So they should have been listening to me and help me to be who I am, not trying to just deny who I am and just make me feel like a same on me.
Right. Who are you?
I am Cristina.
Deep. So what have you discovered? What have you revealed about yourself?
Like one of the things, and I think at the end of the day, I've been trying to just make them feel like proud of me. And I'm gonna tell you something, because I realize I think that's what I try to do sometimes with my managers too, but the way I do it is kind of tricky, because I don't want your to be proud of me because I'm a sweet Spanish lady who talks so soft and sweet. No, I mean I was born with this voice. I was born with this signet. It's not hard for me to have that. You know what I mean? It would be so easy for me to manipulate people, just being honest. But what's the point? I mean, I want the things I get, I want it to be earned. And I want to earn my parents, respect. But they just want me to be a simple woman, And then it's complicated because you clean yourself trying to make them feel proud, and they don't even see what you're doing because they don't even want you to be that thing. But it's like I try to just like have a place for everything, and then I put it back, because actually I learned that. I wasn't like, my mother is like is so like crazy with cleaning.
Oh, she is.
It's a
So you get it from her?
Yeah, I think so, but I don't like to be so obsessive like she is. I think she's actually a really, really smart lady who never were like and I know my parents like had this with their parents, never support them.
Yeah,
they never just were helping them to become something more. And then I know they got issues with that. So how do you hide your traumas? Like my mother first cleans.
Yeah,
That's the way she kind of like I don't know. It's a way to just like, you know what I mean? Like some people drink, some people get drugs.
Yeah.
My mother clean.
What do you do?
Some kind of addiction. You know what I do? It's not so good. I have my issues with the food, and I told you about it. It's like I guess since the 14 years old. Yeah, I've been just like dealing with like some like eating and vomiting, and I know it's a little nasty, but that's the truth.
It's the truth.
So I started and it's funny. It's funny because I'm gonna tell you, I was, when I was a kid, I was a little bit like thick lady. I never were fat, like obese or something, but I was thick compared to my friends, and I had so many complex, how you say, like complejos, like I don't know how to say in English, like you feel like I was super shy first of all. And then I was always like feeling like I wasn't good enough, and I was like, you know what I mean,
like you're confident, insecurities. Yeah.
Exactly. And
okay.
I remember I was watching a movie, the 3 p.m. movies. I don't know. We have this term in Spain, the 3 p.m. movies. It's this kind of movies like they're like second, like some lady who's beaten by her husband or this stuff.
Yeah.
This romantic, so they play in Spain that a lot on the weekends at 3 p.m. That's what we call 3 p.m.
Got it.
It's okay. So, and then I remember there was a movie about 2 teenagers, and it was a movie made to prevent the bulimic. But actually, it gave me an idea. It rang a bell on my brain because I never think about vomiting food till I watched the movie, and that's how dangerous is the marketing and TV, because they can't just pretend they're doing something to just help people, just put out a problem. But look, that gave me an idea. Yeah. And that's when I started doing it. I never think about vomiting and that. And then I watch some movies like, oh, what if I do that? And then I start. And then
is it addictive?
I think it's this obsessive compulsive control that I think all the people like that kind of just have some tendency to go and just have some or disorder, like control food disorder.
Oh yeah.
And I think it became like before it was to get in slim. I was 14 years old. I was a teenager, so it was like a complicated age. But I think then it became an habit, and then it was my the thing that you use to when you get stressed to just get out of your stress.
Your stress reliever. Okay.
And it became that, and then it's like.
So 14 to 40, was there ever like a time in between those ages where you stopped or got treatment, or? I was just going to some therapies, I had many opinions. I had psychologists telling me, a psychiatrist telling me, oh, you take a pill for all your life, and that's what you have to do. A pill?
Yeah, like pills, like medicate myself.
What does the pill do?
Like some kind of like Prozac or something. They you know,
for depression.
No, it's more for control your like stress. It's Prozac. You have Prozac here.
Yeah, Prozac. Yeah.
It's not exactly for depression. I never was depressed.
Right.
But and yeah, it never helped me a lot. These therapies, it were even worse. Some of the therapists were trying to just tell me how to live, and just like, you know what I mean. And there was a pair of them that helped me a little bit. But at the end of the day, the thing that has been helped me to just like kind of solve my problems, it was just being myself and just trying to just read, talking to people,
right?
And like what we're doing now, just digging into your issues and just introspect like yourself, and talking to your one friend, another friend.
Well, let me ask you this: what did your parents say when they found out? Like, how did they find out? What happened? What was? Tell me this. Like, tell me about it.
Okay, because the first thing I was doing, sometimes it was restricted food. You know, I had some periods where I was restricting food, like, and what I was doing is crazy. I don't know how I was doing that. So when we was eating in my family, we always eat together. It's a thing. I mean, you don't need my partners and then I eat. No. In my family, everybody eats at the same time. So it was the four of us in there, because it's my mother, my father, and my brother.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was the four of us at the table, at the same time. But I was making it to hide the food within my pocket.
You were putting food in your pocket.
Yeah, I don't know how I was doing it without being seen, but I was doing it. So I was like, I don't know, I was putting like a some of like a serviette or something to just like, and then I was throwing it away.
Okay, so at first it wasn't as much throwing up as then hiding food and throwing it out.
Yeah, and then one day my mother, when I just put my clothes in the laundry, I forgot to throw away and she found it in my pocket, and she was like, "What is this? What is this?" Actually, this was this how you call this? And my mother, every time she cooked that, she say, "I don't like it because that's what she found me in my pocket." But it's my mother theories,
Yeah.
It's like clams, but it's like orange. It's like the way they put in paella.
It's not crawfish. It's clams,
black,
oysters.
It's black. The thing. It's
mussels.
Mussels. It was mussels.
It was mussels. Well, I mean, I throw them out too. Hell, but so, I guess. So, was there a time period where you ever just stopped and, like, the health risks, right?
I know.
Did that scare you? Like, what are the health risks?
It's so crazy because the craziest part is many people, by doing this for 1 year, they losing their teeth, they just like have a lot of issues in health stuff. Man, I've been doing that for so many years and I never had anything. And it's crazy because I know one day I'm gonna pay for it.
Right.
Because we pay for all what we do.
You pay for your sins, yeah.
I mean, if you do bad, you pay for it.
Yeah.
So obviously, I'm gonna pay one day for it. And it scares me because it's like, and that's what I think about sometimes. I don't like to think about death and this stuff because it's something that it's a topic that I don't like to talk about that much. But sometimes I think how crazy life it is, and it's like, man, I think I've always think about it, and it's crazy, but I think when I'm actually just be able to put my life together, I'm gonna pay for what I've been doing all this year, and then I'm gonna die. I think we are scared to be happy. That's so crazy, and that's an analogy that one of my therapists told to me. It's like, if you've been living the most of your life in if you're in a refugee camp, is that how you call it, a refugee camp? Okay, so when somebody put you out of the refugee camp, you don't know how to live any other way.
Yeah.
It's like when you've been in a cave all of your life, you go into the light is gonna hurt you. Right?
The prison pipeline. That's what they call it in America, is our prison pipelines.
In the dark.
Yeah,
so
and your eyes don't know how to adjust.
Deal with it. So you go back to your cave.
Yeah.
So you spoil your life once and again and again and again. So it's you the one who is spoiling your life.
Yeah.
It's not the world. It's not the manager. Or it's not that lady. It's not that man.
Some way you're manipulating your own life and messing it up. Are you enjoying what you're hearing? Follow us on Instagram at LRI Let's Talk. Okay, but before we move away from us talking about you and being bulimic, because that's like the medical term.
And that's something that I hate when I was going to the therapy and that. I'm not a bulimic.
Okay.
Bulimic for me is my getaway.
Okay.
From my real problems.
Okay.
So I become a bulimic. I could be a drug addicted. I could be any other stuff. For me, I just see it like as a getaway. Okay. So once that I can just put myself together, the problem is going to disappear. Itself.
Okay.
So I'm against like these therapies who just go into the bulimic. No, you have to go and solve what is.
Well, there's underlying problems always.
And then the bulimic is going to disappear.
Okay.
Because it's just a getaway.
Right. So that being said, you've been eating and throwing up food for over 20 years, right? 25, 26, I guess. 26. So what do you think the problem is, and when do you think it would go away?
I think the problem is I need to find myself and just make peace with myself and just don't be afraid to be who I am.
Are you afraid to be who you are?
I was, because some people told me it was wrong.
I guess, if we had to put it into perspective, because you don't have kids, I don't have kids, but if you had a daughter and or a son, what would you say to them about what you're not calling a disease, but them all being identified as children that are bulimic? Let's put them all at 14, where you were. What would you say to them? They just got started doing this practice of control or release or anxiety release or whatever it is. What would you say to them?
Well, I will tell them, why are you doing that? Don't be afraid to be yourself. You have to like yourself. If any other people don't like it, who cares? The most important thing is that you like, because if you become somebody that you're not, you're gonna just destroy yourself.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think I try to kill myself. And that's the side of that.
So you think it's become psychological as well?
Yeah, because you don't like the life that you live in. So what are you here for?
Is people, we go outward a lot and not inward. So what's your favorite thing about yourself? Think deep.
I love that I like to just see farther in the people, farther in the situations. I love to dig into the things. Even sometimes I think I just don't see things. I try to just see something, and that's the thing. Sometimes it's a double-edged knife, you know.
Yeah.
Because you sometimes you prejudge.
Yeah.
You know, and you make mistakes, obviously, but I think that's the thing I like about me. I always like to just dig into the people, and at the end of the day, if I just link with someone, I link with that real someone.
Yeah.
And if I don't, I don't.
Yeah.
And that's cool with me.
If you could ask a single person one question and they had to answer truthfully, who would it be and what would be the question? One person, one question, they have to answer truthfully. Have to. Truth serum style, it's just coming out. Who would it be? what would it be and why?
Maybe it will be my brother.
Okay.
Like, why you always, like, try to just, like, have some competition with me? Why you always try to just, like, show me how great you are if I already know that?
Does he know that you feel like that toward him? Like, does he know that you feel like he's great?
Yeah, I'm 4 years older than him.
4?
4 years older than him. I think when we were like really kids, he was always, I was the bigger sister, so he was like always trying to just catch my attention and make it. And I was like, I never been mean with someone or jealous, besides with my brother.
Interesting.
I think that's the only.
What are you jealous of?
Because I was my daddy's like sweet lady. I was just alone. I was just, you know what I mean? And then it came my brother, and it got all of the attention, and they forgot about me. And they know where the parents could just put you into, like, hey, this is your brother, come on. They don't even let me touch him. Like, they no. They put me away. Like, you know what I mean? I love what today the parents do, that they like put the kid into the new kid. Like, they make part of, hey, you're
you mean fill in the stomach?
And
this is your little brother, your little sister.
And let them even help them to just like do whatever. No, they just put me away and don't touch the kid. Like, it's like so. I mean, it was like a threat to me. It's like, oh, look, this little like whatever is coming to just here, and it's just, I'm nobody anymore. Like, everybody's paying attention to him. I don't
feel
even
like
can
you
touch
disappeared
it,
almost.
Yeah, and I don't even can touch it. Like, it's so, like, so, like, protected, and it's like, so it was terrible for me, and I think that's the only time in my life I've been jealous, and it was hard, and then I remember him, like, crying out, saying, do you love me? At night, we were in bed, and I say, no, I don't. And then he was crying, and I let him cry. And I'll never forget about it. I know that.
So is it one of those things, because that was kind of put on you, or your brother was put off of you, that you have, like, problems expressing your feelings toward him? Because it was kind of like there was that wall already built by your parents. So you telling him he's great, and maybe even now, 40 and minus 36, math, calculator. Even with y'all being older, like well into adulthood, is that the barrier? You think he's harping and showing you how great he is. He's like, I need to impress my big sister. And you're like, well, I already think he's amazing. And he's like, she hates me. Because there's that non-communication there. Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I know this is an issue and we have to work on it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And he's always been like that he's been the forgotten one. And it's crazy because my parents give him everything to him.
So y'all both feel the same way on opposite ends of the spectrum. Is there anything else you want to talk to me about or tell me or anything?
I don't know. Like, it's like, I think just I love to tell you, like, thank you. Aww. I've been telling you that a lot, but I mean it. Like, you've been really, like, just, like, being just super helpful with me. Like, just, like just opening your house for me that I know you don't do for, like, for everyone. So I really appreciate that. And yeah, we have a really, really, one of my best times here in Austin. It was just with you in this winery. That day was so good. Like, I really enjoyed that much. So, like, we was telling, we don't tell people, like, sometimes the cute things, you know? So I need to solve that, just be better with it. So, like, I'm just trying to just tell you thank you, because you've been really like great to me, helpful, and doing me so many favors, just taking my packages like a last minute to FedEx, saving my life, so many times. So no, really, like I really appreciate it.
Yeah, good people deserve good people. And you got to keep them around. But with my LaRae Infinity Let's Talk podcast, I really, really just want to emphasize love and celebrating women and their stories and the truth of their stories. And because sometimes it's not about the solution, but just speaking stuff and letting it be known so that other people can relate. And I guess my takeaway to give to you is to call your brother. Call your brother and tell him he's dope, and leave it at that. Like, I don't care what you do. You're dope. You're my kin. You're my family. And then the other one is just to tell more people how amazing they are, because it's important. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you being so honest and open about everything. And to all the people listening out there and my next people that I'm interviewing, thank you for listening. And as always, tell your story, be your own brand, live your truth, and stand in your moment.
All right, y'all. My name is Cristina. I am 40 years old. I hope you all enjoy our conversation. And I hope it just like makes some kind of impact on you, or just help you to just deal with some personal issue that you have actually, and that you really like just can change something by listening to us. That's what we're here for, I think. Just changing us and changing like the world in just a simple, small spot. And you listen to my story as I live my truth and stand in my moment on the LaRae Infinity Let's Talk podcast. Thank you.
Have you ever looked at somebody or the circumstances and wondered? What would you do if you were laying on the couch and you felt a lump in your breast? You find out you have stage 4 breast cancer, and overnight you have a lot of decisions to make. Next time, Nanaz will be sharing her journey and telling her story on the LaRae Infinity Let's Talk podcast.